Hey guys, welcome to the Homestead. So I wanted to come in the studio today to talk to you. It doesn't really require me to go out and on the homestead to make this video. It's an important video. One of the biggest questions I get from the very day we started this experiment of an American homestead, the biggest, most commonly asked question we get is, how can I get on a homestead and earn a living? What can I do to earn a living? And the answer to that has been, up until now, because there's a lot of things you do when you live on a homestead. And there's a lot of things historically that homesteaders have always done to earn a living. And the key to surviving as a homesteader is to have as many revenue streams as possible. It could be, for instance, let's go back in time a little bit. It could be like sewing, or being a seamstress, or selling eggs from your chickens, or being a butcher, or selling hay, or selling crops, but what a homesteader has always done is had as many revenue streams as possible to get by, because many of these things are seasonal, and as the seasons turn, you use whatever resources you have during those seasons to be able to make money. Certain times of the year, you're cutting down trees, you're making firewood, maybe you sell some of that firewood. So that's always been my answer. However, in the last couple of years, I have seen a trend of one particular job that you could do as a homesteader to earn you a living. And it comes to a point now where I have to start sharing this and promoting it and telling people, you need to consider this. And for some people, it's going to be a little bit maybe out of their comfort zone, because we are just spoiled rotten as Americans. We are completely spoiled rotten. We have no idea what it means to work hard and do certain things anymore that our ancestors would have had no problem whatsoever doing. I remember a number of years ago, I was butchering an animal out there on our homestead, and I was doing it for a class. And one of the people asked me, Zach, do you ever get used to doing that? Because I was actually cutting the manhood off of the ram that I was butchering. And for me, my reply was, for me, it's no different than opening up a box of crackers off the pantry shelf. I'm just preparing food. I'm just opening up food. I'm opening up this ram to butcher him the same way I'd open up that box of crackers. And for some people, that's a little unnerving. But see, again, we're so spoiled rotten as Americans, we have no idea what it takes to feed us anymore. We all want everything conveniently packaged for us. We want everything delivered to our door. We want everything to be nicely looking great at the supermarket. And we don't want to touch any of the process that it takes to get to that point. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, there's a great job out there for people who really want to earn money and to always be able to provide food for their families. And in the day we're living in right now, where it's a mathematical certainty, we will see an economic collapse, because any sort of tightening, raising of interest rates is going to provide a deflationary collapse of the stock market. And right now, all of the money that they're putting in, if they continue to print money to inflate that stock market, you're going to have massive hyperinflation. So you either have a deflationary stock market collapse, okay, like the 1920s, or you're going to have a Zimbabwe-style massive hyperinflation, or something on the line within the lines of like Weimar Germany. That's your choices. Mathematically, it's a certainty. One of those two things are going to happen: deflationary collapse, 1920s America, or Zimbabwe collapse, or Weimar Republic collapse, inflation, massive hyperinflation. And there is a massive war on meat today in this country at the same time. I saw in the news the other day that basically California is attempting to completely destroy their pork industry. And I don't eat pork, okay? Many of my audience doesn't eat pork either, okay? Regardless of that, doesn't matter if you do or you don't. They're going after not just pork, but chickens, beef, lamb, everything, meat. They're trying to get fish. They're trying to get rid of everything, and they're trying to provide highly processed chemicals, plant-based substitutes. Guys, if you want a job that will always feed your family, the demand for being a butcher right now is off the charts. Every butcher I know, every butcher probably you know, is at least a year behind in schedule or more. Sometimes much, much more. Butchers don't have the capacity right now to handle the amount of demand. And people, if you're a homesteader and you have land, that means you have maybe the space to put, up a steel building, okay, some kind of cheap steel building where you can buy the equipment and house that equipment and then process that meat for friends, family, neighbors, whatever. You can do it as a business, or you can do it as a black market type thing, where you can do it as friends, as a under the table type thing for a favor for friends and family. So you have that option. If you do a business, I've some people around here actually explored the idea of maybe doing a mobile butchering truck, like a semi-trailer type thing where you went from farm to farm and did butchering on call. The reason people were considering that is because the demand just a few years ago was off the charts for some service like that. And right now, it's even more so. And so there are people who are doing that. There are people who are setting up butchering shops on their homestead. And in fact, I did a website for a few years ago, and I'm doing another website because I'm a web developer by trade. Normally, before I was a homesteader, I was a web developer. I develop websites for clients. And I don't do so many these days because I just do a few because it takes me away from the things I really want to do on the homestead. But I'm doing another one for another company who wants to they want to offer a butchering service because they know the demand is so high right now. You will always be able to feed your family. You will always have demand for the service you provide if you're a butcher. And right now, if you are a homesteader and you have the ability to raise livestock naturally, heritage breed type livestock that don't require chemicals and all that, and you want to raise your animals naturally, like they did 100 years ago and beyond, and not with chemicals, you will have demand for your product. Absolute demand, because it's so hard to find that these days. It's getting harder and harder with all this plant-based alternatives, which are really just chemically processed foods. If you can provide a service where you can butcher these animals, because right now it is off the charts in demand because there's no room. There's no time. There's no space for the current providers that are out there right now. They are booked to the max. So people often ask, Zach, what kind of job can I do if I have a homesteader that provide for my family? Because right now I work at a job, I have to go in, I have to work in a cubicle, I work in an office somewhere, I do this or I do that, in the city. If I move to a homestead, which I'm not opposed to doing, what am I going to do out there to earn money? How am I going to earn a living, Zach? Learn how to butcher. Last year, I offered for the first time butchering classes, one-on-one butchering classes, and they were sold within like a day. They were sold out. The demand for learning this is off the charts. We're going to do it again this year. I just talked to a guy today, one of my patrons, over at patreon.com/AnAmericanHomestead. Go join up to be a patron. He's in Oklahoma. He wants to offer a class to some of his friends to have me come out there and teach them how to butcher. And I had so many people email me who have farms in the Ozarks who are like, Zach, come to my place, teach my friends how to butcher. And we're going to offer those services this fall and winter, because the demand is off the charts. And not only do I want to be able to earn a living doing that and make money doing it, I want to help people. Give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man a fish, he eats for a lifetime. It's the same with butchering. You can give a man a hamburger, but if you can teach a man how to make a hamburger from, a live cow or a live lamb or whatever, how much better off is that man going to be? Much better off. And at the same time, you teaching it or you providing that service can feed your family forever. There was that movie, Fiddler on the Roof. It's a musical, if you ever watch musicals. And he's debating whether or not he wants to give his daughter's hand in marriage to the town butcher who has asked for his daughter's hand in marriage. And he considers the obviousness of this situation, that if his daughter marries a butcher, she will never know hunger. And that was a concern for people back then. Guys, it's going to be a concern again for people here in this day and age. Will you or your family, your children, know hunger because you're not able to provide for them? People have asked, and I'm giving you this answer right now. What can I do to earn money on my homestead? You can learn to be a butcher. You can provide that service, either black market or as a business. If you want to do it as a business, you can go through all the hoops and jump through all the hoops of the government, or you can just have the ability to do that and just do it on the side as a favor for friends and family, and they give you something here or there, but have that ability. Learn how to do it. This year, I'm going to be setting up classes again. and I know there's a high demand. I'm getting constant messages in my inbox asking about this. Last year was our first experiment at it, and we did great. People wanted this service, and so I'm going to continue to provide it. And I'm going to teach people because, number one, I want to be able to earn a living doing it. And also, I want to help people. I want to help people because there's some tough times coming. And with all this war on meat right now, they're taking meat off of the option list for you and me. So the options that we have are narrowed down to growing it ourselves, growing that product ourselves, raising your own chickens, raising your own sheep. I don't like goats. Raising your own beef. I don't like pigs. But, raising your own meat. I just think that you have to learn how to do things yourself again. We as Americans have lost that. We've become spoiled, rotten, comfortable, and all the excesses that we have today. It's time to fix that. It's time to roll up your sleeves and do some things on your own. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. I really appreciate it. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this whole thing. There is a war on meat. Let me know about what you think about this war on meat. And if you could ever be a butcher, think you could do that? Think you could step out of that box where you might be a little uncomfortable learning how to take apart an animal and to do so in a humane way, a humane fashion, and provide a service that so many people want and desire, things that your grandparents were absolutely familiar with, but you have absolutely no clue about? Could you do that? Leave a comment below. I want to know about it. And check out our merchandise over at teespring.com. Common sense, not so common anymore. That is the reason why we are in the situation we are in today as a nation and as a world, because we have just no common sense. We have gotten away from common sense, the common sense of our ancestors. So check out our merch over at teespring.com. Pick up a t-shirt and allow everyone you know to know that you like the Homestead. And we have also our Stupid Shit Hurt shirt that we off-sell over there too. Absolutely our best seller. Check out that. By buying that merchandise, you're helping the Homestead. So, all right, we'll leave it at that. See you next time on An American Homestead. Leave a comment below. I want to know what you think. Bye. Hey guys, I'm happy to introduce an American Homestead sponsor, Zervita Zeal. Now, first off, I only accept sponsors from products that I use and believe in. My family uses Zeal mainly because we want to ensure a healthy immune system. You see, it's made up of only whole food concentrates and includes no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. The included sweetener is all natural from fruit and the stevia leaf. It's gluten-free, it's vegan, and it's kosher. In 2018, my youngest son was involved in a bike accident that resulted in the surgical removal of his spleen, and that's an important part of his immune system. And because we live on a farm, you can guess that having a healthy immune system for our family is very important. Some of the included ingredients are beetroot, chicory root, turmeric, moringa, blueberries, cranberry, goji berry, milk thistle, ginseng, alfalfa, broccoli, and so much more. It's these natural ingredients that can easily be made into a powerful and tasty drink that my family can make and feel good about. So sign up and give it a try today. Every purchase you make goes to help the Homestead so that we can continue to make great homesteading videos for you. Link is in the description below. Go ahead, give it a try. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of An American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the Homestead that we make here on the Homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. Oh wait.